Bwanje mdala.
Atupanje mabwana, sorry.
Teacher pushe kai mo.
Muse kono.
Ah,
Sorry. Multitasking.
iwe kai ni wa kumayadi by heaven.
Kulipe, mayati yakuti.
Pio bai mwe.
Kulipe, msocha pepe.
Wa kumayadi by heaven mdala.
Zero. I can see looking at the computer, young guy, because I think they are going to be doing some upgrades to the computer tonight. So I'm supposed to leave it on.
Oh, okay.
For the night. Well, up to 8 o'clock tonight.
Oh, okay. Hello, how are you?
Let me do that. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you're able to join me this. Oh, it's afternoon here, right? It's just going to be a quick event. It's I think it's late in the night actually in Zambia. So Wilster, how are you?
Very fine, Perry. How are you doing?
I can't complain. I have AC and it's very cold. I have a blanket with me. So
it's very cold in Zambia as well.
No, but it's very hot outside, but there's AC. So whenever I turn it off, my wife gets so mad. And I tried to use the trick, but when she leaves, I turn it off. And the moment she just walks in, she says, "Who turned off the AC?" She knows.
Okay. So Zandai, how are you?
Not too bad. That's
very good. Mr. Zandai, Wilster is I would say he's a colleague. He's watched me grow. We pretty much grew up together in Maize,
In Maize? Oh, okay.
He used to interact more with my father.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Things like that happen all the time.
I used to big man.
So where are you now?
I'm in Luansha, the Commonwealth.
That's the part of the country I never went to. The only place where I went was, katika shortcut kwenda Kukitwe guys. Before you reach Ndola. Katika shortcut kwenda Kukitwe. The Luansha turn-off. That's how far I've gone to one.
Luansha is a town which most people, funny enough, people call it that. It's the only town in Zambia which is in the warfare.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, I think I've never been to Luansha, but one of these days, I think I've pretty much been to the most of Canada, and I want to do the same for my country as well. I just want to drive and.
You know what I discovered? Although I haven't discovered on the map is Mpongwe. That's the only way to Mpongwe.
There's another way. As you're coming from Kaprimposhi, getting into Ndola, there's a turn-off there which goes direct to Mpongwe. It's nearer.
Past Kaprimposhi? Or where?
Yes,
or is it in
as you're going to Ndola. There's some place called Luansobe.
Oh.
You turn to the left before you get to Ndola.
Okay.
It's actually sometimes as you are going to Lusaka, you can pass through Mpongwe and then join that turn off between Kaprimposhi and Ndola.
Okay, gentlemen, we have like 30 minutes to do this because I just took my break from work. Let's just dive into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The first issue is I want to talk about this man. Who is this guy? Like, it's like the guy has a triumphant entry, like it's. But when I was growing up back then, I think I shared with you, Mr. Jondai.
Yeah.
My stepmother, my mother. I hate putting step before mother or stepfather. I don't like that. My mother used to say, "Oh, there's this organization that is sponsoring people to go to school, university, and so since you are smart, I can put a word for you, and maybe you can go to the sets." And I said, ah. And then she said, what organization is that? I asked her. She said, oh, my hometown. And there was just so many bad things about it, you know. And I said no. You know,
What bad things were those?
Sorry?
What bad things were those?
You know, it was just associated with bad things, you know. And it was like maybe I don't know. I don't want to get arrested, but it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway.
I know Brian wants to join. Brian, I've posted the link. Just click on the link and then follow the procedures, and then I'll be able to bring you on.
So when was that? When
Sorry?
was that? Because you know one funny thing. Why I'm asking you when was that? Because I didn't know about this James Ndambo.
No, I've known about
until
it.
like this week. I mean, when they started posting it by social media. So I was just wondering, when was that? When was the first time you heard about him?
It was way back, more than 15
For me, the
years
first time
ago.
I heard of him is when he brought
Yeah,
Fali Pupa to Choma
Yeah,
to come
my
and
mother
sing and dance
also, and
at
she
his
said,
birthday party.
Okay.
That's when I started hearing about him. The next thing I heard of him is, I think it was last month or so, that my
Yeah.
niece was traveling to Dubai because she's participating in some competition that is actually going on right now.
Yeah, but
So everyone was worried, so I had to
Yeah,
do some
yeah,
background check, and
just
then
on
I
that, you know,
discovered he
do
was
you
an
know why I
authentic
say
person.
triumphant entry?
Sorry?
He's brought the girls to Choma, and the alcohol, and all the men are going to flock to Choma. You know what I mean? And he's made a very big name for himself, man.
He's very big.
Yeah,
He's putting politicians in panic.
I know, because
People are seeing
guy has
generosity
money,
from
you know,
him.
like that. I was just reading, like, the first prize was like
Does
100,000
he have any
US.
political ambitions at all?
Well, he says
Sorry?
no, and he's maybe like Dangote.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I try to go to search his net worth. You know what I mean? You know how we always want to check and see,
Don't know about
you know, how much somebody's worth. I couldn't see anything. You know?
Yeah, that's the funny thing is that the media, even the media, I mean, you guys are official. Why are you calling somebody a billionaire when you don't even say his billions?
Yeah.
You know, and I was reading something this morning too to try and get this figure too.
Yeah.
I think it was on social media where they were trying to explain what he does for a living, why he's called a billionaire. The guys couldn't pinpoint exactly what he was. Maybe I missed that, but the reporter who was writing about him didn't pinpoint exactly what this guy does, how he got his
like that's what I'm
business.
saying. The people in the media, they don't do a lot of research.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is where they're supposed to do a lot of research and give the masses a lot of information about him. But we're not getting anything. It's just speculation. Oh yes,
Yeah,
of course, he must be
exactly.
rich because we can see from his donations. Otherwise, there's no much information about him in the public domain.
Yeah, they say he's an anthrop. The
Therapist.
anthrop, whatever that word is. But they are not telling us a lot about what he's doing. Okay, we built hospitals and blah blah blah. Tell us which one it is. Then that way we have an idea of what exactly you're doing.
Well, I was able to find something on LinkedIn. So that's there, and he's according to say Ndambo is a Zambian businessman based in South Africa who owns Africa Union Financial Services,
Union.
which is currently undergoing liquidation. And then on March 5th, on 15th March 2017, James Ndambo, who is a chairman of African Union Holdings, at a meeting with. So basically, this guy, and then here's the thing: they say James Ndambo is actually associated with an NGO, My Hometown, which he began because of his concept or his birthplace. So, and then they say, though a lot of people look at it as an underground political movement, you see, for me, it's I don't know how to say it, but it's
some people, they are saying that question has been put through to him, trying to ask him if he has got political ambitions, and he says he doesn't want to be associated with politics. And that's somewhere I read in the day that he actually decided to take some of his businesses out of Zambia because of political interference. It's like the gentleman doesn't have interest in politics. We don't know exactly.
Yeah, but do you know what took me off was the time you're saying people can rent their houses for $500 US to $1,500 US in Choma. I was like, what the heck? You know, what kind of people?
You never know, man. Maybe Choma ended it, man.
On Airbnb. $500.
When was the last time you were in Choma?
It's been a time now, but even
that's the provincial capital for Southern Province at the moment.
I know. you know, the last time, I'm not going to say anything about Choma because the last time I was in Choma was when 10 years ago.
That's right. It has grown.
And
it's much bigger
that
than
time, I was only Mubas, Tunda Station. That's the only time I went there. So, I mean, that was not the only time. The last time I went there.
Yeah.
Gracious, thank you for following through. And I can see Gracious there saying that if this man had interest in politics, he would have joined a long time ago. But it appears he doesn't have interest. And I'm told there has been there's somewhere I read. I'm told he had some businesses in Osaka a long time ago.
Yeah.
But he decided to move to some other parts of the world, but never had showed any interest for politics.
Yeah.
Someone Wendy here is telling us that he was once owning a bar in Makeni, and then he says shares that more with someone else on the land, something like that.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
Anyway, I love the hype that he has brought in.
I know.
Some excitement. Zambia needed that.
Yes.
But this guy has brought the women. And on top of that, he's saying
I wanted to say something. I'm not going to say
something funny that I read that high-profile flake queens are trekking from Lusaka to Choma because for the finale that is going to take place.
Yeah.
Trying to position themselves early enough to go and cash in because there will be a lot of visitors from different parts of the world.
Yeah. Well, let me just post the link. My page is it's kind of like freezing. I don't know what's going on, but are you able to get me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah, because it keeps on Restream keeps on telling me that it's not working well, but yeah. So and that's the thing, though. So is there a reason for politicians to be afraid?
For what, sorry?
You know, Zambian politics has been taken to some extent. People, they link too much personal generosity to politics. That's the kind of politics that has been created in the country, that you have to dish out a lot of money to the people. You know, people don't want to work.
Yeah.
People get excited with the donations. But already there are some complaints.
Yeah.
If you have read McDonald Chipenzi, a political analyst, he says the donation, some of the donations he's making, for example, the one he made to the police, He says that can compromise the
I
activities of the
agree.
police in case
I
you committed
agree.
a crime in the city. How are
I
they going
agree.
to act? Because the
Let,
police is
let,
directing them.
let me just share this. I don't know what's wrong with my internet today. It's maybe I have too many tabs. Let me close this.
Internet yako bazungu yafunda yakulwansha ili better lero.
Exactly.
No,
Zambia is doing fine.
Yo, Mayadi. Went over.
China.
but
Japan watch us.
Zambia has developed.
Zambia is developed. I'll take that in the future.
Yeah,
So,
our internet is doing better than yours, Kabazungu.
no, I don't know. I haven't restarted it in a long time, and I was supposed to do that before going live. But yeah, Mr. Zonda, you I can't even. Your screen is it's frozen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't see you. I'm not going to see you.
I can see him.
But
I can see his screen is not frozen.
Yeah, I can see both of your screens is fine with me.
so I'm going over that.
Nafunda yako chani kwa nuko.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that where you are, everything is big. Except for the internet.
Can you just take it up? Let me just go back out and go back in again.
Okay.
Yeah, just continue. I'll join you shortly because it's kicking me out, and then.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
I'll pick up some topic. I think that's one you had put on the far end.
Yeah. So basically, so the next topic was just let me just.
Oh, George, you're asking the name of this program. It's just an evening chat. The three of us as colleagues, we have just decided to have some conversation that is live. You can join in by asking questions or making contributions through your posts or in the comment box. They are welcome. Yeah. Another thing that had brought a lot of talking in Zambia is the announcement of the floor price of maize.
yeah.
You know, FRI, the Food Reserve Agency, announced that this year, they'll buy maize, a 50 kg bag of maize at 160 kwacha. This, the same bag of maize was bought at 150 last year. So there's an uproar from the farmers, but they are not making profit from the sale of maize after their hard work, a long wait. And then after the harvest, the floor price that the government has announced is very discouraging.
Yeah.
So it has brought a lot of talking.
Yeah. So, no, go ahead.
Okay, you wanted to say something?
No, what I wanted to say about that was that, it's sort of like I don't know whether you would want to call it a catch-22 situation, where the farmers, they're getting into this business. Of course, we have always grown maize. That's the other thing, that we have always grown maize, and even if we are making a loss, we still grow maize. Even my mother used to do that a lot. But if you tell them, say, but she won't listen, because why? She has always been thinking about that from the very beginning. And at the same time, the farmers, for example, Kwama America and Kwama Canada, they subsidize them a lot. Government subsidize them a lot. That's the reason why if you have to buy corn from North America, it's way cheaper. Even Brazil, it's way cheaper, because the government subsidized the agriculture.
Actually,
yeah.
Actually, even in Zambia, maize is production of maize is highly subsidized.
Yeah.
For example, there's a fertilizer input support program where small-scale farmers get inputs from government after a payment of a very small amount of money, I think 400 kwacha or so, where they are given 4 bags of fertilizer and the 10 kg bag of maize seed.
See,
So it's highly subsidized. You can imagine a population of about 1 million farmers that are usually targeted, and then each one getting 4 bags of fertilizer. In Zambian
Yeah.
kwacha, at the moment, a bag of fertilizer is going for 1,000 kwacha. So you can imagine 1 million farmers getting each one fertilizer worth 4,000 kwacha plus the seed. So it's actually highly subsidized. Otherwise, without the subsidies on maize production, the country can starve.
Yeah. And it's even going to be even worse this year because of the war in Ukraine. That unless they have another source of potassium where they are going to source it to come up with the fertilizer for this farming season, it's even going to be worse. Because remember, even when they were campaigning UPND, they were talking about how they were going to reduce or bring down the price of fertilizer when they get into power. It's really going to be very, very difficult for them to do it this time around.
Actually, the biggest worry that I have at the moment is that the next year, as we have harvest next year, production will extremely go down because for the farmer, they are not getting any profit. If at all they are getting in maize production. So what I've observed at the moment, I was in Mpongwe, one of the most productive areas in terms of agriculture in Zambia. Most farmers are now shifting from growing maize to soybeans.
Soybeans. Oh, okay.
They have now gone into more of soybeans than maize.
Yeah.
Most of the farmers now, small-scale farmers, they are not just growing for their own consumption in their homes. So for cash crops, where they need to cash in some money, they are going into soybeans. I agree with Wendy Mundia, who said it's actually a deliberate move for the government not to put the price of maize very high, because you're talking about less than 2 million farmers producing maize to feed the rest of the country at 18 million.
Yeah.
So the government has to be wise. Are we going to please the 2 million people and then starve the 16 million Zambians?
16 million Zambians.
Because once the price of maize goes up, it means that the price of mirimi will go up.
Yeah.
The prices of stock feed, because the major ingredient in most of the stock feeds that we have for our livestock is also coming from maize.
From maize.
So it means chickens will be very expensive, beef will be very expensive.
Are you able to hear me?
A lot of foodstuffs will go up.
We can hear you.
They hike too much on the price of.
Okay, I just wanted to find out what stage you are at, because I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah,
are you at the?
We jumped to the last topic because we can't.
Which is the maize flop?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, let me just what's the hype about all this?
The farmers are complaining that they're not making profit. So they're saying it's very discouraging to go into maize production because there's no profit there. And the worry is that if the farmer is discouraged, and then maize being our staple food, this will affect the nation in terms of food security.
But how is the floor price determined though? Who comes up with it? What parameters do they follow?
It's the Food Reserve Agency. Those are the things we are trying to look at, that the government there is being strategic. If they raise too high...
Wilson, here's my thing though. Okay?
Yes.
There's the cost of fertilizer, right?
Yeah.
There's the cost of seeds. Okay? And there's also the labor aspect of it. And in most cases, the farmers back home don't quantify labor. Nobody has ever quantified labor. So I just wanted to know the metrics that the FRA uses in coming up with the floor
On that
price.
one, FRA does not openly come out to give us the criteria at which drove them to come up with that kind of a price. But what FRA, I'm thinking, is that they look at the broader picture. What will be the major outcome? What will be the major implication of this price that we're going to come up with? Because there are no price controls. Wait. I agree with the comment that Bright Adams has put here that the floor price is for FRI only. It doesn't matter where the farmer is going to sell. If you don't want to sell to FRI, you are going to sell anywhere else.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
farmers have other options. They can sell to other businessmen, or you decide to sell to FRI. So FRI is coming in, just trying to assure farmers that their maize will have to be sold if they want to sell. But otherwise, the millers can buy on their own. They can fix their own prices.
Okay, because I was reading somewhere where they were saying that FRA, I think one of these professional organizations, I think farmers organization, saying that they were not even consulted when they came up with the price, which I think sort of like, you know, agrees with what you are just saying right now. Because, I mean, you don't have to sell it to FRA. You can sell it to whoever you want. But the only trick situation would be how to get it to market for people like deep in the rural areas. How do they get it to the market if they can't sell it to FRA who are in the area already?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
otherwise, the main buyers are also flocking into rural areas trying to source
for me, I think it's unfair for FRA to put a price on it. The best they can do is before, let's say, before farmers decide what to plant, right? They can say, okay, we are forecasting that the buying price of a bag of maize will be this, so that farmers know, is it profitable for me or not? Because right now, people are just growing those crops without even knowing how much money they're going to realize from their input, right? So they can do the forecasting, of course. They can say, okay,
the forecasting at our level as a nation is not possible.
No. We have Rooster. That's not an
maize production is dependent on the weather outcome for that particular year. So they can make false projections, and you know how us Zambians are. You make some forecast, and then they will pin you on that one that you made a promise.
No, but you can have the basis of pinning those prices up. You know what I mean? Like you know exactly what you want to achieve. So here's the thing: is this brings me to the next thing: is the price good for farmers?
The what?
Is the floor price good for farmers?
Of course, everybody's complaining, saying no, it's not.
Farmers. That's why they are complaining.
Yeah.
And Perry, look at the comments also that are coming through. I'm seeing some nice comments from Brilliant Adams. He has made some correction to me that the price of fertilizer is at 550 kwacha.
I've sent him the link. He just has to click and then he can be part of the show.
Okay. It's far much more than 515. I was reading somewhere here, I visit some agro shops. It's actually about 990 something kwacha. Fertilizer has become very expensive. But anyway, it's a liberalized economy. There are a lot of businessmen who have gone in. They can buy at 250 as much as they want, but issues of demand and supply will still come in.
Exactly. Yeah. But again, you have to understand, like the example I gave, of my mother.
Yes.
The only thing she knows growing is maize. Okay, maybe she knows to grow other things, but the thing that maize is like in Sima. If you don't have in Sima, so not.
There's one thing that actually I planned that we should talk about this.
No. I have that right after this. We'll talk about that. Hold your fire. We'll get to that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is compared to last year, are the prices any better?
If you look at it from an economic point of view, the price for maize, the floor price, the 160, is much better than last year. I can break it down.
Yeah, by 10 kwacha.
10 kwacha.
Okay, so then.
Yeah, but no, let's look at it at a different angle. That's why I wanted to break it a bit further. When we look at the 10 kwacha as per se, is the 10 quarter difference, because last year it was 150, then this year is at 160. But if we look at economic values, we go back, how much was the dollar last year, the same period? The kwacha against the dollar was at 22 kwacha. At the moment, it is at 17 kwacha, 8 ingwe. So when you make these calculations, you find that in terms of the dollar, this year it is at $9.36, and then last year it was at 6.8. So in terms of dollars, there's a difference of $2.5. In Zambian kwacha, there's a difference on the positive side of 43 kwacha. So definitely, Gambia this year, the price is better than last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
Strictly on the economic value, current ones.
Yeah, I think. I mean, were you also talking about prices in general, or just for the maize?
No, we just look at the maize. Yes.
Okay. Now the thing is, I believe you've already tackled this price comparison from last year to this year, right? So you said there's a difference of about 10 kwacha.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking.
Yeah. For me though, I think a lot of forecasting has to be done. Okay. There's Wendy has a comment there. Let me just pin it.
Wendy
is saying, no, it's not better, sir. 10 kwacha when everything.
I've put the comparison.
Like 75 to 100%.
That's the comparison.
That's what I'm saying.
Last year we were buying it at $6, 6.8. This year at $9.3. So which one is better?
No, but the thing is, look, if you are not going to consider the cost of inputs, and then somebody would arbitrarily just go to bed, dream, and say, okay, the bag of maize we're going to put, it's going to take at 10 kwacha more. That's what it is. That's what it is.
I wish I looked at the price of fertilizer the other year.
No. That's what it was. Look, you have to consider that it's a business. You have to consider the cost of inputs.
You are very right.
You have to consider and I've dealt with farmers back home. I used to work for an NGO for most of the farmers don't quantify their labor. They don't do that. So for them, it's labor is a sunk cost. A sunk cost is a cost that has no relevance whatsoever in any future decision.
They don't cost it.
No, it's not and that's why I'm saying the cost is the price is unfair. It's unreasonable. Someone can't just go to bed, wake up, and say, "This is this is the price you're gonna buy the maize at."
No, I like it that it's a discussion. People are raising up very good points. Wendy, you are well covered. You are supported, and I'm convinced.
Okay, so the next issue is how is the price of maize impacting what's the impact of the maize on our Zambian people?
Yeah, I think we touched a bit on this one, because this is where we said that now the farmers are very discouraged now. So we may have a very bad worse off situation next year, because production will definitely go down unless something drastic is done in terms of reducing the cost of fertilizer, because that's the biggest thing that is hampering maize production in the country.
Oh, okay.
With the current prices of fertilizer, you expect very minimal amounts of maize to be produced. Farmers will just produce for their own consumption. They'll forget about selling. So it will impact very badly on the price of maize, mealie meal, and the other stock feed and the like for our livestock.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stock feed consumption per Zambia as compared to, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. Everybody now is either into pigs or chickens or any other livestock. So it's not only for Nsima. It's like everything now.
Things have changed, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Okay, so now let's go to the major issue. This was just maybe to just clear off a few things. Basically, what I wanted to really look at is the high cost of living. Okay, so for me though, I feel this is an area that the UPND they haven't addressed, right? And my argument is that look, people voted them in based on them providing jobs. Okay, people voted them in on the basis of them reducing the cost of meal meal. Okay, and trust me, when the UPND government reduced those subsidies, I was okay with it because the fewer subsidies, no one was benefiting from that. Okay, but I feel the party needs a short-term strategy and a long-term strategy. So, for example, free education is a long-term strategy. Okay, but a short-term strategy for the party is them reducing the price of a bag of meal and cooking oil. Those are the two essential commodities that I wanted them to address because right now, in the short term, people are going to feed, But
I like asking very pragmatic questions. Because if we talk about in terms of introducing subsidies, because maize already is heavily subsidized.
How is it subsidized when? Is it because of the farmers' inputs? Is it FSP, something like that?
Yes. Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of money on that one.
No, but here's
I
the
don't
thing.
know what further subsidy they can bring in to reduce the price of minimum, to hinge on other social amenities that are needed in the country.
No, but the thing is, you have to look at ways you can mitigate the high cost of living. People have to eat, People have to eat.
The major thing that is affecting the cost of living in the country is that we are not producing enough electricity. As a nation, we are too much dependent on hydroelectric power for energy.
Wilster, what's electricity got to do with planting maize?
We talked about FISIP.
Zambia National Service can plant as much maize as they can. They have the capacity to do that. Reduce the prices of maize. Flood the market and reduce.
I think you have to also look at it from a holistic.
You talk about reducing the price of maize. That already people are complaining that the price of fertilizer, maize, is very low. So we reduce further, then the farmer will not produce maize.
No, but the thing you're looking at, what was the basis of the UPND coming in power? What were they trying to achieve?
This is a country.
But really, the way I look at it, this issue, of course, NDP is in power. But the way I'm looking at it, I think it's more to be a little bit reasonable here. One, those guys haven't been in power even for a year, and look at how much they achieve, things they have achieved, things that not ordinary people sometimes see. Like, for example, look at the inflation everywhere. US, Europe, everybody, inflation is going up. I was just watching Sky News the other day. They were saying something like inflation in the UK was 11% or something like that. But then look at the inflation in Zambia. Everything is going down. So in other words, it's like Zambia, look at Sri Lanka, look at India, Japan, everywhere inflation is going up. It's like the only place where inflation is going down is in Zambia.
Single digit, 9%.
Yeah, everything is in Zambia. It has gone down more than what? It was 24, now it's about 10. Can you believe it? Within 8 months or 10 months. So which means that these guys, they are really working very
say
hard.
8 months or whatever.
Yeah,
Their first budget became effective on the 1st of January this year.
yeah,
So we were being too harsh to expect these people to perform miracles within 6 months of the implementation of programs.
yeah.
Definitely we are getting somewhere, but we should not expect, there are certain things that you cannot just work on within a few months. Some of the things, they are long-term programs. For example, if we are to talk about maize production, if we are to reduce the price of fertilizer, for us to increase production of fertilizer in the country, just setting up an industry to produce fertilizer, you need maybe 3 years.
Well, don't we have nitrogen chemicals of Zambia? Don't we have all the machinery there?
Actually, nitrogen chemicals of Zambia, I can't just remember how much was pumped in. Already government has, in just 6 months of being in power, they have already pushed in a lot of money. I think about I'm not very sure, but it's like $40 million or so to increase production. I'm not very sure, but there's an increase in terms of they have pushed in money already to increase the production by nitrogen. Which is a good thing.
Here's the thing, though. My argument is, if you look at the PF, right? Out of lack of planning, they came with the debt swap in the towards the end of towards the elections, actually,
before voting day.
Okay, so for me, the way I understand politics is you have to look at the economy, and then you have to look at what is it that's gonna win you the people. And for now, I'm telling you, something that will make UPND popular is reducing the bag of mealie meal.
I'll tell you one thing. One of the biggest mistakes that our leaders in Africa have made is to make populist policies without looking at the bigger picture of stabilizing the economy.
Yeah.
Populist decisions are very destructive.
No.
The one you just gave us there, as an example where they were giving, they wanted to do a debt swap. That was a populist policy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but very destructive to the economy.
No. The thing is, look, people are hungry. People need to eat. For me, it's the government trying to take care of its own people. You know, you can't just say, you can't just sit there and say, look, and one thing I don't like about this administration is that they just sit and then let everything roll like that. When I once told the people,
no, these guys are working. I'll tell you, I'm not a politician. I'm not a politician or anything like that. I'll tell you, these guys are working.
In terms of inflation, we are doing very fine. These people are not seated.
No,
when
I came out and told the people, fasten your seatbelts. So all of us knew what to expect. Okay, but you cannot just sit there and say things are tough. Tell the people that, hey, between this time and this time, we have to fasten our belts.
The president has been very clear on that one.
People will prepare for that. Okay?
Yeah.
And
the president has been very clear.
But there is now you shouldn't alarm people when there isn't anything there.
No, but here's
because
the thing.
I don't think there's anything there yet. There might be, but trust me, I think these guys are moving very careful to make sure that, just imagine when back in the day when we would not be trying to make sure that in Kuku is what do you call it? So I think that's how I look at them, these guys in the government today. They're trying to make sure that they move very strategic. I didn't want to use the word strategic, but carefully to make sure that nothing overthrows or escapes. Because you're right. Maize is the number one thing because that's what happened to Kaunda. That's how Kaunda got booted out. It's because Kaunda. But I'll tell you, they're doing everything for now. That's the only things I'm saying. That they're doing everything very carefully.
No, for me though, I'll tell you what my expectations were. When the president said that he was going to sell that plane, Okay, I bought him into that. Okay,
Yeah.
and then when he said that he was gonna reduce the bag of meal, I bought into that because I wanted my
Look at
people
the
to feed,
comments.
right?
Look at Brilliant Adams there. There's a comment
I,
attested
I,
to.
let him join. I'll post the link again. Let him join, and then he can come in and Brian, I've posted the link. Just click on it and then follow the steps, and then you'll be able to be on the show. Let's see if there's So as I was saying, for me, those are the things that I was expecting. Okay. The president hasn't come in to tell us why he hasn't sold that plane up to now. Okay, forget about selling it. Why he's not using it? You know, and those were the major selling points for me. Trust me, I wouldn't have prayed for any other candidate apart from him. I think he's the best man to kind of like run the country. But as I said,
guys, I'm not going away, but I'm just changing positions.
Yeah.
You know, to me, I think HH is up for the for the job. But the only thing that makes me sad is the opposition, because the opposition, they are so dumb and they talk. You know, they're very stupid argument that you have an intelligent guy here, and yet you are proving to be so useless. Like the expression "swaganiza," it's like, come on, he is the guy, and it's open for the challenge. Every freaking time I listen to the news, he's always telling them, we are not going to, to be silencing you. Tell us, come us, demand what's right for yours. But same Abantu, they're not really bringing him some intelligent challenges for him to pull up his socks, because he's already there. But of course, there's never enough. You can, you challenge him. You can still take it to the next level. So that's what I want from the opposition. Not Ivambo Tukana. I mean, what does Tukana do? Come on, tell him something. That's why you went to school. Come on.
Can you tukana mdala imosa? Osa ilisetima tukaniwa daily kuno mda. Tiba tukaniwa daily stima dandaola. Kali kumbe kumenya kuno kamtukana chemu. Neva kamutukana tena aenda na yeye.
Ati tudai we. The thing is that you were just going to look like an idiot. And then they'll say, you guys had an opportunity to move this country further, because you don't have to be in power to move a country further. Even in opposition, you can move the country even further, because you're going to be giving this guy, the leader, the challenges, even work more harder.
No, okay. Here's another question though. Some people are beginning to entertain the return of Edgar Lungu to PF. What do you feel about that? What's your take on it?
Is that such a joke?
Yes, sir.
No, I think there are just some comedians who are making fun.
Yeah, some people are entertaining it.
I don't know what is the name of the channel. I think there's a reluctant, there's another and this is another one.
My brother Ishmael there is saying government should look into businessmen and women who are exaggerating the prices of commodities, because the dollar has gone down, and this is very true.
No, just it's not exaggeration. Okay, there's what they call.
I'll give you a very simple example.
No. Wait, before you allow me to pitch in, there's what they call the weighted average cost. Okay, so for example, I bought something when the exchange rate was 20 kwacha. Okay, and then I buy another commodity when the exchange rate is at 15.
For more than half a year, the price of the dollar against the kwacha has been going down. The kwacha has been peaking.
It depends on how fast you sell your commodity.
Perry, let me finish. Let me say it. Let me give you examples, simple ones. The other week, one of my bosses, one of my workmates, was in Tanzania. I think he was in Nakonde. I think he was bringing something from there. And then he posted from Nakonde that he was very happy with the value of our kwacha as compared to in the past. Because now he was able to pay for something at a much less price than before. And if you come to Zambia, most of our groceries, they are imported from South Africa. You go to most of the supermarkets, ShopRite, Pick and Pay, Choppies, most of the commodities are imported from South Africa. And those are things that were produced this year, things that are brought almost on a daily basis. So this time they have become cheaper to import them from South Africa than they were in the past. Why should they be expensive? There are some cartels. Even the Minister of Commerce was complaining that there are some cartels that are trying to take advantage of the buyers, the consumers of prices, of commodities.
So
by
are you
not reducing the prices.
Are you advocating for some price controls?
Actually, the minister threatened that we may bring in price control, but that cannot happen in 2021, in the 22nd century. No, we cannot think about that. But there's the consumer protection. You can hinge in penalties to those people that are exaggerating prices for their own selfish gains.
Yeah, price gouging.
Well, it's happening even here. Like things are very, very expensive. I've lived in Canada for close to 11 years, right? And every time I used to gas up, I would put a full tank, And the past few months, not a full tanky. $20.
And a big chunky. It's a big chunky going.
Let me ask you one question.
Just to fuel my
tank. What is making your fuel expensive?
No, it cost me $120 to fuel a tank.
Why is it expensive this time around?
Well, that's the thing, and Canada has oil.
They're pushing a kamfana ka Ukraine atenda kundeenda. Then wakapaunda.
Wakaregerera kamfana.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
These Scandinavian countries, they apply to join the what is it called? This
European Union.
Yeah. And then they said, no, we're going to expedite. We're going to expedite the process. Process in that.
Every day, not like Mama break. Every day, Matimba. That's not good. And innocent people are dying. Innocent people. They have nothing to do. They're never ever going to benefit, even with them being in part of Europe. Nothing.
But
the only people who are stealing, they are the politicians again. Because look,
selfish people put us through a lot of things.
No, here's what sudden me that I was so mad that day. Somebody is at the war front. President of Ukraine.
Move to the next topic.
Can you address the parliament?
It's almost 20 hours now here.
Yeah. Okay, then
Move to the next item.
Yeah, let's go to the next, the last one. Defections mdala. Yeah. Ena mdala nabana double wakakoma mdala. Oh wakambati. I've decided to leave PF because I can't fight the policies that I help formulate.
I think inamunyokola mdala wangu.
Eh?
I think inamunyokola mdala wangu.
Oh yeah. Baba zio pa kugwira.
Inabo ya munyokola aenda ku PF. Adda boche kwa PF ya ruza. Palasi ni kubwela manje is just now moving like a flag which is being blown off by the air.
I thought that what's happening with because manga kuno mdala ngati we Democrat. Ngati we green, you know what I mean? Like they stick to their political parties.
Political prostitutes. Political prostitutes.
Yeah, they are the Daniel Mugombwe
but this brings me to the next issue, Mdala.
Yes.
Was he sent there to go and spy on what they were doing or what?
No, ninja right na munyamula.
Yeah.
Funa kujena wewe. Kujena wewe. Na wewe
Ajao.
Sio nikubwele chabe palasti. Sema na wekute.
Na ngati akabwelera what to be the issue?
Ngala bantu bokuya UPND bampase kafuroja. You know, a lot of people in politics, they expect to take up positions, and then someone who betrayed them at the last hour comes back. Ampasa kafuro. Ni vyongo hivyo.
No, they shouldn't.
The man has proved to be a man of no principles.
Exactly, no principles. Yeah.
We're not laser.
Yeah, I don't just get it, but for me though, he said he can't fight the policies that he helped formulate. So by virtue of him leaving those policies, it means
he didn't believe in them.
Yeah, he didn't believe in them. So why?
He actually fought those policies by siding with the people that damaged their economy. The people that overborrowed. He decided to dine with them. You saw how the wife shined, and you take a bride. I'm able to like a coma. What nonsense is that? And now they can the music also. They are defecting. They think we are fools.
That's another issue, Mdala. Like
they think we are naive.
What was that nonsense all about? Like, I don't understand.
There are some people who think, in their own small minds, they think they are very clever, and they can wink everyone.
Yeah.
They want to be in the kitchen all the time. They can't wait for food in the sitting room. They want to go and eat from the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, we are almost close to an hour. I had my internet was a little bit bad, so next I'll remember to restudy next time. It's been a pleasure broadcasting this to you guys and you watching with us. And all I'll ask for you is to just like and share this page. And up until next time, it's good night. Gusta, in closing, what are you going to say?
Yeah, I just want to assure the people of Zambia that things may look difficult at the moment, but we have got a very good team in place, working hard, trying to stabilize the economy, and we'll move forward. I can assure you, by the end of 5 years, Zambia will be a far much better country.
Mr. Zonda, in closing, what have you got to say?
Pray for these guys to be doing what they're doing. I think they're doing I agree with Mr. that they're doing a very good job. Again, I'm not a politician or anything like that, but I just want to see the way it is. That I think we are moving towards a very good direction.
In Amdala, I don't know. I'm just a proponent of God helps people that help themselves. I think I believe in that, and I think that's why I sided with that other pastor who said that
I receive.
This is what most Zambians are expecting. Without working hard, they want the politicians to transform the economy. Politicians will not do anything. The politicians will not transform the economy. Sure. If us as citizens we don't work hard, it comes back to us. What is my contribution? You don't expect the church to develop this country alone. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's dependent on everyone's contribution. Without that, we are going to fail together.
Okay,
And
lastly
we have
now.
a country
Lastly.
where
Okay.
the opposition, the only thing they are doing is to wish the president to fail. How can you wish somebody to do fail?
What kind of patriotism is that?
Imagine. And they call themselves as Patriotic Front. No wonder Simon Mwale calls them the notorious Patriotic Front.
Now, do you think that PF is going to come back?
No, it's a story of UNIP, the story of MMD. It's a cycle. It has continued. It's now them going down. The way UNIP went down.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Zonda?
Yeah, I really don't care about. I just want good leaders. That's all we want. We want good leaders, and I'm going to pray for God to bring us more good leaders like these guys.
Like Kambwili. Very Kambwili, very Bowman.
No. We have to pray harder so that they don't give us those kind of leaders again.
And they are branding.
Yeah, I don't care who comes back. If they are as good as what these guys are doing so far, I like HH because I was in that ngati wandokagwiramo mumpoto uliweka, because he's not going to defend you. No secret count. I like it when they start telling them from great go like that.
Mdala vinkane mwamba mfuamba manje mwamba kubombo vundula vilonda manje.
I know. Per weekend when in Zambia it's still daylight, so then we can talk as much as we want.
Yeah, but the issue that I have is you cannot fight corruption using the same people that accommodated it.
Exactly.
You have to purge the system, clean it up. Yes,
somebody has been sold in today.
Huh?
So there will be action there.
Huh?
At ACC, there will be action. Is the new boss.
No, for me though, I think ACC needs attention. You need to change the policies and procedures. You need to change the modus operandi of how they work. So for me, I think
did you see the news?
Yeah, that was that I was happy to see that. But are they going to operate on the same policies and procedures?
No, I think police. You trust me.
The policies may be very good, but when they're bad eggs, they will not follow them.
PF. There were good policies from the very beginning. It's only the elements that were there. They're the ones that didn't follow them. These guys were not fuck up manja. I think they're principled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is a former Attorney General who can put it clear that when he was Attorney General, he was not able to afford a car from the showroom, which he could afford before he went into that office. He's a principled man. He has demonstrated it before. And we expect a lot of results from him.
The problem with Zambia is that I think most of these background checks, Zambia, I think they are
my checks and balances.
No,
we are criticizing the government by talking about the shoes of the president.
But never support of a conzero.
Checks and balances.
No, Bantu Wandarama Mdara Ntocha.
It's what happened. James Ndambo we are talking about. That's how much Masafari suits. But in don't you work with pa.
Siladi Bonga is still Benrama to Samira Masut. All right, it's been a pleasure.
We will talk some more.
Definitely. Next time, let's
go away.
when it's
Let's
during the day in
background
Zambia.
and chat for a few seconds.